So we're about to go on this little journey that starts with a simple math problem, one you probably remember from high school, and ends up at the absolute cutting edge of modern algebra. It's a story about how a question that seems totally straightforward can lead us to some wonderfully and frankly dangerously complicated places. You remember this, right? Solving for x? It always felt like a nice, predictable puzzle. But what if the rules of the game have a hidden trap? What happens when the very act of solving the problem creates an answer that's a complete and total illusion? Okay, so let's start with the fundamentals. The whole idea behind solving an equation is just isolation. You want to get that variable, that x, all by itself on one side of the equal sign. And to do that, you basically have to undo whatever's been done to x. It's all about working backward. If a number has been added, you subtract. If x has been multiplied, you divide. And if our x is trapped inside a square root, well, you do the opposite of that too. You square it. It's all about reverse engineering the puzzle. Now, this brings us to a really special kind of equation, where our variable x isn't just hanging out. No, it's trapped inside one of those radical symbols. These are called radical equations. You know, something like the square root of x plus 2 equals 6. See how the variable is stuck inside that square root? This is where our story really gets going. So to free that variable, our main tool is to square both sides of the equation. And let me tell you, when this works, it is incredibly satisfying. Let's see it in action. Okay, let's walk through this one. First things first, we gotta isolate that radical. So we add 10 to both sides. That gives us the square root of c minus 1 equals 12. Now for the magic trick. We square both sides. On the left, the square root and the square just, poof, cancel each other out, leaving c minus 1. On the right, 12 squared is 144. One quick final step, and our answer is c equals 145. See? Beautiful. But, and this is a big but, there is a golden rule here, and it is non-negotiable. You have to square the entire side of the equation, not the little individual pieces. I mean, think about it. 3 plus 4 is 7. If you square that whole side, you get 49. But if you accidentally square the terms, you'd get 3 squared plus 4 squared. That's 9 plus 16, which is 25. Totally different answers. It's such a common mistake, so definitely keep that in mind. All right, now, here is where our simple little puzzle takes a fascinating and kind of dangerous turn. The method we just used, as powerful as it is, has a bit of a dark side. Let's take this equation. I mean, it looks almost identical to the last one, right? We've got a radical, a couple of numbers, we know the process, so let's just follow the steps again. Okay, first, let's isolate the radical by subtracting 5 from both sides. That leaves us with the square root of x minus 4 equals negative 3. Okay, next we square both sides. On the left, the root disappears. On the right, negative 3 squared becomes a positive 9. So we have x minus 4 equals 9, which means x has to be 13. Simple. We followed the rules perfectly. So there it is. The answer's 13. Looks like a solid answer. We didn't break any rules. Or, did we? This right here is why checking your work is absolutely essential with these radical equations. Let's plug 13 back into our original equation. We get 5 plus the square root of 13 minus 4. That's the square root of 9. And the square root of 9 is 3. So our equation becomes 5 plus 3 equals 2, which means 8 equals 2. And that is very, very wrong. Our solution doesn't work at all. It's a phantom. So what on earth happened? The problem is our magic trick. Squaring both sides, it turns out, is kind of an irreversible step. It can hide huge problems in the original equation and literally create a solution out of thin air that was never valid in the first place. And this is the perfect way to understand the trap. Start with a statement that is just obviously false. Negative 2 equals positive 2. Complete nonsense. But if you square both sides of that false statement, you get 4 equals 4, which is true. The act of squaring completely erased the original wrongness of the equation. And that is exactly what happened to us. Our equation was impossible from the very moment we got a square root equal to a negative number. But squaring it just hid that fact from us. Now, take that idea of a mathematical operation hiding a fundamental problem and imagine scaling it up, way, way up. We've just seen how tricky a simple square root can be. So imagine what happens with equations that involve much higher powers. This gets us to one of the great historical challenges in all of mathematics. An equation like x squared minus 16 equals 0, Yeah, pretty straightforward. But what about this beast? An equation to the fifth power. For literally centuries, finding a general formula to solve equations like this one was the Mount Everest of algebra. A lot of brilliant people thought it was completely impossible. Well, it turns out it wasn't always impossible, but the answer was incredibly deep. It all depended on this hidden property of the equation called its Galois group, which is sort of like a secret fingerprint that describes its internal symmetries. This quote right here, it's basically the key to the whole castle, but it's a riddle. It means you can only solve the equation with simple tools if its secret fingerprint is simple enough. But the story doesn't end there. Just recently, a new algorithm has been developed that can actually crack some of these monster equations, turning all that abstract theory into a concrete step-by-step process. So how does it work? Well, it combines three key things. First, you need to know that deep symmetry structure, the Galois group. Second, you start with really good guesses. We're talking highly precise numerical approximations of the answers. And third, you follow a computational recipe that transforms those guesses into the perfect, exact answers. Now, inside this algorithm is some seriously advanced mathematical machinery. It uses these special tools that act like a key, and they methodically untangle the relationships between all the different possible answers to the equation, one step at a time, until that final exact expression is revealed. And this shows the algorithm's power and its cost. The amount of computer power needed is related to the fourth power of the size of that Galois group, that fingerprint we talked about. It can be a massive number, requiring just immense precision. But it's a finite, manageable challenge. It puts a number on a problem that was once considered basically infinite. So, just think about where we've been. We went from a simple hunt for X to discovering these phantom solutions, all the way to a modern algorithm that can solve equations mathematicians struggled with for hundreds of years. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other simple questions out there are actually just gateways to entire universes of hidden complexity?